history will eventually show that the countries with the fewest WHO related restrictions are the ones that may have done the best. That does seem, and so what they're saying here is we need more universal policy when it doesn't seem that policy actually got anyone through the pandemic, is the point that I'm trying to make.
Right. Yeah.
And so, okay,
and
that's something we can debate.
Yeah.
You know, but again, I don't think that the WHO really has a strong leg to stand on right now, because the things that they were saying ended up not being all that reliable as we went, you know, when we rewind the tape.
Right. So let me just say now, to put a tighter point on that, we are now ceding control of our response to a next round of any kind of pandemic,
to an organization that doesn't have a good track record from the last one,
and who is not elected, is an unelected group of people that we are ceding power to. Like, I just want to really drive home this point, because I don't think people are understanding this.
Kohalo Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and hedges. Salutations also goes out to the rest of you hopeful elect that tune in to listen and learn. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. And as always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. The name of this one is It's About to Get Interesting. It's about to get interesting. And indeed it is. You know, you have Babylon about to basically give or cede power, as they call it, to the organization known as WHO, or World Health Organization, in other words. And you know, as the guy said in the video, this is an unelected organization that's about to have basically power granted to them to run protocol for future so-called pandemics, right? You should know what I mean by pandemics by now. In order to so-called have things run smoother and for the benefit and sole purpose of the people, right? You know, so-called taking care of the people. Now, you know, this is not an interview, but this is this comes from a YouTube page called Redacted. I'll put the link on the description, so you brothers and sisters could tune into that. It's very interesting. It's about 2 hours long, and just the first half hour will have you, like, you know, with your eyebrows almost coming off your head, man, because it's gonna be up there. It's gonna push it's gonna push back your hairline, man. All right. These devils are about to, you know, go to their next phase, man, which will, you know, and in reality, we want these things to happen, so it's all good. But at the same time, it's like, you know, the nerve of these devils, man. You know, the fucking nerve of these devils. Now, check this out. There's a few bullet points I put together of you know, just the first hour of hearing of what they were talking about. You know, mind you, this is sovereignty that they're handing over to this organization that is funded, might I add, by Bill and Melinda Gates. Okay, hope that doesn't get my shit, this video clipped. But anywho, it's funded by them. It's sovereignty, the United States sovereignty being handed over to these people, and basically they're trying to put together plans for future pandemics, right? In these protocols, they have the power to mandate lockdowns, dictate vaccine distribution, and even monitor the population. You know what I'm saying? And you should definitely watch it, man, because the female here in this the female in the video makes a lot of good points, man. from, because she was reading the language. It's a draft, a rough draft that they put together, but just judging by the language so far, she noticed how when they were talking about monitoring the population, how there was a lot of information and connections to other organizations, all to reinforce this tactic of monitoring the population. And then she read other parts where it was talking about vaccine distribution and how the language there wasn't as they didn't say much when it came to that, right? Because they spoke about patents that these different pharmaceutical companies own, right? And how they were going to simply encourage these companies to basically share data so they could make enough vaccines and distribute vaccines accordingly and all these things. But when it comes to the monitoring and infringing on people's rights and stuff, that there's a bunch of information, protocols, the whole plan, man, and I'll read a short clip on a part of the language that was spoken about, or what they were speaking about. And because she's reading a draft from this process that's going to take place actually Monday, the 27th of February, right? It says the world together equitably, right? It's a lot. You never really read that word, but equitably. It says vision. The WHO, the WHO, CA, I guess that stands for California or something. I'm not even 100% sure. The WHO, CA, aims for a world where pandemics are effectively controlled to protect present and future generations from pandemics and their devastating consequences. Right? This is look at the smooth language that they're trying to hit you off with. And because they're playing to people's feelings and fears, okay? And to advance the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of health for all peoples on the basis of equity, human rights, and solidarity. We didn't see that going on in China. And we didn't see that going on in Australia, where they was basically locking people down against their own will. Shit wasn't even that serious as they was pushing it out there, and people were still getting locked down, and sometimes they disappeared. It says standard of living of health for all peoples on the basis of equity, human rights, and solidarity, which with a view to achieving universal health coverage while recognizing the sovereign rights of countries. Yeah, right. Acknowledging the differences in levels of development, right, rich and poor, among countries, respecting their national context, yeah, right, and recognizing existing relevant international instruments, right, the UN, the military that these different countries have, possibly, right. The WHO aims to achieve greater equity for effectiveness for pandemics prevention, preparedness, and response through the fullest national and international cooperation. Okay, and we all know what happens when you don't cooperate. Okay, there was countries that weren't cooperating, and these people were outing and speaking against, man. Okay. Let me just get a few scriptures, man, because this is not going to be long at all. This is one of those lessons that's just bringing attention to a specific video on YouTube, which people should definitely look into, man. Okay, so let's get into the book of Psalms 55 verse 21. All right, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Now this draft, when you go into it, it reads as if it's something that's good, that's beneficial, that's mindful of all people, right? But we know what Esau's up to, man. We know that he's the devil and he was made crooked and not upright, right? We know that this man has war in his heart, man. Control, the forging of his birthright that he sold for a morsel of meat, man. Because he didn't. He said, what is this gonna be? What is this good for me for, man? What is the birthright good for me for, man? I'm about to die. That's how hungry I am, you know. Because this man is very carnal. He's not spiritual at all. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. And you better believe that these swords, man, come into the form of syringes, man. All right, for the Vanessas, the Crown Vics, you know, the Maxines, man. Put that together. I hope you could put that together and figure out what I'm trying to say, man. All right, this devil don't give two shits, man, about nobody, man. Himself, his people, you know. For sure, Jake, he don't give a damn for sure about Jake, you know. Let's get the book of Ecclesiastic, is also known as Sirach, chapter 14, verse 5, and it reads, this is always coming out too at our camp. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. This devil is ready to do evil to his own people, because you got Babylon right now. You know, 50% of Babylon, maybe even more, are not with the shits, man. They're not with this whole, you know, with how Biden and this administration is carrying out their actions, man. You know, we got a couple more $1 billion about to be sent to Ukraine. Meanwhile, you have tent cities all over the United States. You have infrastructure badly, you know, coming apart. You know, for lack of another word or phrase, you know, everything's messed up. Not to mention the fact that, you know, you got a lot of people, families that need assistance, and they're ready to take out, you know, a couple $100 worth of food stamps, or already did, I think, this past month. So it's like they don't help nobody here at home where you need the most help, right? Because at least Trumpito would think about Babylon first before he goes to, you know, to somewhere else, man. But, you know, we could see through the bullshit, man. As the scripture says, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know that this man and his family and Lord knows who else has special interests, man, out there in Ukraine, man, along with, you know, the elites, man, with all the other devils out there, man. You know, they're just getting that much closer, want to get that much closer to Putin's backyard, and Putin's not with that shit. You know, that's why he invaded over there. I mean, that's one of the reasons, right? We don't know all of these devils reasons and what's it called, motives, right? Nonetheless, let me end it off with this last one, okay? Because it's something that Salakia, hold on, let me look for it again. There's something that we have to always be mindful about, man. Okay? And it's going to be, one moment. It's going to be Revelations chapter 12, verse 12. Just go straight to the point, right? I don't want no NIV. Says, it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, the so-called white man, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. These devils know that they have to move on to the next phase, and the one after, and the one after that. And as the apostle Tahar said, man, these things can happen in successions, one after another, man. These phases along with the, the different destruction, the different woes that are going to come upon the earth, man. You have these new diseases, coming about. They're talking about the next epidemics. You have inflation going crazy right now, so famine is coming, tempests all over the place, the people insurrection. You have Brazil, other places in South America going crazy right now because of the corruption. All these leaders of these places are in cahoots with Babylon, man, and the people ain't having it, man. Here it is. These countries are rich in resources, but for some reason the people are always poor. Always got the short end of the stick, man. In other words, man. But we gotta look out for this, man, because these devils is moving on to the next phase, and it's gonna take place now, the 27th, which is Monday. Okay, so I pray this was edifying. I'll leave the link in the description box. And with that, I want to say, Kohalo Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors again to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well and continue being great examples to us, brothers. Salutations to you, brothers in the highways and hedges, sacrificing your life, putting your life on the line more than ever now, right? Because these people hate him that reproveth in the gate, man. Okay, and salutations also goes out to the rest of the hopeful elect. You brothers and few sisters that tune in, along with the brothers in the highways and byways, man, and starting with the apostles on down, man, pushing this real truth, man. Shalom to you, brothers.